Okay, so my draft wasn't a typical draft because we was in a lockout.
Oh yeah.
So again, more adversity hit. You know what I'm saying? More little setbacks. So I get drafted. I get the phone call. I'm at home showing my boys. Mind you, I'm supposed to go, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, undrafted. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a second to the last call for the day. In the third round, and Green Bay called my phone. Looking at my phone like, looking at my boy like, nah, ain't no way. And answer my phone like, hello. I'm like, yeah, it's Alex, it's Ted Thompson, Green Bay Packers. How you doing? I'm like, I'm doing great. How you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing good. He said, okay. He said, well, your day finna get a lot better. We're going to take you 96 pick in this third round. And I'm like, well, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm turned up.
Tap in. Yeah, you gotta tap in. Yeah, you gotta tap in. Yeah, we win. Yeah, we done did it again.
All right, man. Welcome everybody to the Next Level Podcast. That's the Next Level Podcast. I'll be your host today, Paul Harris, and today, man, we got a great, amazing guest for you today, man. I had the opportunity to play college ball at a high level, and then also get drafted in the league, man. Play for a couple different teams, man. Give it up for Alex Green.
Packers select Alex Green, running back, Hawaii.
So Alex Green joins Green Bay and aloha.
God, why is Green Bay? The rich just get richer. Alex Green, I love. Randall.
This is good to see tonight. 1st and 10, blitzes on Alex Green. They beat it with a great block by Burrell. That is a Green Bay touchdown. He crossed it. He was in the end zone. Alex Green has his second touchdown tonight for himself tonight. He's always been a good screen runner. You see the patience there. He sits in, he bluffs. Now you see him get out. This is really where you see the acceleration.
Man, what's up, man? Alex, how you doing, man? Appreciate you coming out to the show, man. How you doing, though, brother?
I'm lovely, man. I'm glad to be able to connect with you, man. I had a chance to see you play. You like little bro to me. You know what I'm saying? So to see you, I had a platform to give back to the youth, man. That's dope.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as you came out, you was embracive, humble guy, giving out gaming when you could, and you wasn't on no, I made it to the league, and I'm standoffish. You was embracive, arms open, welcoming to everybody, and whoever wanted that game, you was definitely giving it out. So, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can say, and I appreciate you getting on the show to do the same thing for the youth out there that's going to be watching this, man. You made it in a lot of ways that people want to attain, man. And I'm gonna start off with some simple questions, like, man, so they can get to know you. For people that don't know you, where are you from? What's your background of how you grew up?
Yep. So grew up in Portland. 7 brothers, big household. Mom and dad, all that around. And just to keep us busy, man. They put us in sports. Yeah. You know what I mean? They kept us out the way and kept us in sports, and that's when I fell in love with the game for real, And that journey, man, and that passion I had for the game just took me, beyond my imagination. And I was blessed enough to take it, all the way to the show and play in the league. So, for me, man, just going back, I always reflect. It's funny because I always reflect, like, how my journey started, where it came from. People ask me, like, when'd you get into football? And it started off young, like 7 years old. Mm-hmm. And I always think about, like, when did I really turn the corner and really start, like, want to take it serious? For me, man, it was just having fun. I just wanted to do something fun that was fun and competitive. You know what I mean? Growing up in a big household, we always fought. We always competitive. We always wanted to be first. And so to take that into something where I could actually get a reward from it, you know what I mean, to be praised for it, bro, like, that was dope to me. And I fell in love with just the atmosphere and the fellowship we had with my players, you know what I mean? So it started young, man, just having that extended family, in the gridiron.
Yeah. So you had 9 people in the same household. Was your dad and mom together, or did you have a father figure in your life?
So mom and real dad broke up. They split up when I was young, and so mom remarried. I was probably about 2 or 3, 4 years old when they got together. So all I knew was, my stepdad around. My dad came around once in a while, but really with me, stepdad, mom's in the house with the brothers.
So you did have a father figure in your life, though. So
absolutely.
You had basically a 2-parent household, so that's good, man. So that helped benefit you and nurture you into, the man you are. You know, a lot of people, they either come from a single parent household, but you had the opportunity to go from a 2-parent household, so that's an advantage for you.
Absolutely.
Would you say your community or the household that you had was, you know, poverty, middle class, upper class?
We was like lower middle. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like Pops. I mean, like the beauty of it too is that he helped coach the football team, so he was around when we were doing our extracurricular activities. But you know, mom's work. You know, they had good jobs. It was just spread thin because there were so many kids in the house.
Right.
And so we didn't have the luxury, but we ate every night. You know what I'm saying? We always had breakfast. We always had lunch money. You know, we had the structure and we knew where we was going to go when we got back home. So it wasn't like a poverty environment. You know, it was positive, uplifting. You know, I mean, obviously family got struggles, you know, and trials like every family got. But for the most part, man, like I was blessed to be a part of a family that we really show love and support for each other. Like every game, mom's at games, recording the games. Pops at the games, he coaching, you know, like always around and showing support. So we felt the love, win, lose, or draw, no matter what. And that kind of carried me on to my coaching, just showing my players love no matter what.
Right. Okay, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah,
Next,
bro.
I'm gonna ask you, man. So with a lot of people in that same household, you didn't really get that. I mean, I'm not gonna say you didn't get that much attention, but did that make you lash into sports a little more so you could get that attention from mom or pops or you know just outsider spirit?
Yeah, it was more of, like I said before, like that extended family. You know, like it was just a family away from a family, you know, a brotherhood away from my brotherhood that I had at home. And it was, you know, an experience we can share together that we were sharing a passion, you know, for the game that we had. You know, we all love the game and we shared those experiences, we shared those struggles, we shared the blood, sweat, and tears, you know, and for us to go through those experiences together, that built our bond even deeper. And so for me, I fell in love with that. I fell in love with that for real. Like just really sharing that emotion that we have for the game and wanting to take it to the next level.
Yeah. When you started playing football, were you actually good, or did it take some time to actually build some?
I was always talented. I was always talented. I wasn't like the fastest, the strongest, like a short, chubby kid. You know what I mean? Like, but
back in the day?
I was chubby. I was a chubby boy back in the day. You know, I was a fat kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't fast at all for real, but like, I was talented. So I always had moves. And I just came from playing ball in the streets with my brothers and the homies. You know what I'm saying? But, and I could always catch, you know, just have my hand-eye coordination just from playing ball in the street for real. But I was never like that strong kid or that super fast kid that you just give him the ball and he gone. But I always was talented. And so once I put the work in, that's when it kind of took over. But man, growing up, bro, like I wasn't like that dude like that. I wasn't that dude on the field growing up, man. I was just like the average Joe who just had a love for the game, trying to find my spot, you know.
Okay. When you started playing, though, what position did you play? Or was it like a dual
So when
position?
I first played, my first time playing organized tackle football, it was in 4th grade. And I came onto the season late, and my older cousin, he was a coach. And so mom threw me in. You know, I might have played one game, if I can remember, like one game. The next year, I changed teams, and I was a little more comfortable. I didn't start, but I played. And that's when I started to kind of find my groove. And towards the end of the season, I started playing more.
Okay.
And so 6th grade was when I kind of took off, and then I played quarterback. That's when I played quarterback. So I started off playing running back, and then I played quarterback. And quarterback stuck with me all the way up to the 8th. So I really was a quarterback. I was out there. I was the Donovan McNabb. I was a chubby boy who had a little cannon on him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So playing quarterback and running back, I mean, that kind of go hand in hand. You got to know the offense. You got to know where everybody pretty much going. You got to know the blocking scheme, stuff like that. I mean, you don't really got to know that in 8th grade. You know what I mean? But or not Warner, but when you get older, I mean, it kind of translates. Did you when of course you're going to high school? Did you ever go to any of these high school camps, college camps, anything of that nature?
Yeah, so I remember going to a camp, an Oregon State camp. That was like my childhood. Like I wanted to go to Oregon State. I watched the Steven Jacksons growing up. I wanted to go to Oregon State. So I went to Oregon State camp, a tackle camp. I think it was a 4-day camp, but a 4-day camp that I went to overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started getting like more exposure. That's when I started like get my name out, because now you got the coaches there. You know, you got some players would come out and look, you know, and so that's when I started kind of getting my name out. You had all the Oregon high school coaches there. And so they kind of take heed of that. You got the reporters up there, you know, so your name start to get a little buzz if you're doing your thing. I think I had, so mind you, at this time I played safety.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up switching over from quarterback in middle school to defense in high school, and that's what I kind of ran with. I was kind of like I wanted to play a safety position. And so I had like 4 picks, you know, in those 4 days. And that's when one of the recruiters, Nigel Burton at the time, that's when he kind of took heed and noticed me. And you know, he kind of gave me a look. And on rivals.com, you know, I went from like a 1-star to a 2.5, you know, and I started getting a little buzz. I had a couple of articles out and whatnot. And that's when my name started to ring bells a little bit.
Okay. So, saying that hindsight, you would promote going to these camps and these 707 travel teams. I don't know if 707 travel teams was back. Was that around back then for you?
No, we didn't have 707 travel teams. No, we didn't have none of that.
707s are beneficial. 707 travel teams are beneficial, but these
Absolutely.
These college camps definitely get your name out there. Definitely get you stars by your name, especially if you perform, and then you get the opportunity to talk to these coaches face to face, so you get to make a connection too. So
Absolutely.
you ball out, make a connection. Why would they not keep an eye on you, especially if they see you multiple times, man? So don't spread yourself thin. You only went to one? You only went to one camp?
I only went to that one camp, and then I went to an Oregon. I went to an Oregon Combine camp, which is a non-contact camp at the University of Oregon, and that was more like you running your 40s, your shuttles, you're doing some individual drills, and I mean you get a lot of exposure, but it's so many kids, so it's like it's hard to kind of, if you're not that dude like that, already getting looked at, it's kind of hard to get your name out, but it's still helpful because one, you're getting the exposure of competing against other guys in other cities, you know, other states, and at top levels. So now you get a chance to compare yourself and see where you at versus the competition outside of your city.
Yeah.
Now you know where you at, and you get a full evaluation of where you at. So it's very beneficial just in that standpoint of just, okay, you got guys out here who can play, and you got the guys out here who are the top dogs, and then you get a chance to see how they work face on. You know, and that's where the difference is. That's where it starts to benefit, is when you can see close up and personal. Okay, what's the difference between him and me, and why is he a 4 or 5-star? Why am I a 2? Okay, well you can see in his work ethic or whatever it is. You know, so yeah, it's beneficial for sure, man. I highly recommend it.
So to piggyback on that, there are free camps and there are paid camps. If you got financial struggles, go to these free camps. If you have a little money to play with, you can definitely go to these paid camps. You know what I'm saying? So there's no excuse. So kids, talk to your mom and pops if they don't know nothing about it, or pops and moms, make sure if y'all tuning in, make sure y'all get y'all kids one of these camps, man, so they can definitely get an opportunity to, you know, go to the next level. So when you got to high school, you said you played defense. Was your team pretty good? Was it a winning program?
Nah, like when I was there, I graduated 06. I know I'm kind of dating myself, but I graduated 06. And the last time that they won a championship was in 88. That's when I was born. So we talking, you know what I mean? So we talking about some years before. Now, my freshman, sophomore year, they went to the playoff once. But my years, man, we won probably 5 games in 2 years. We wasn't really a winning program. We had coaches in and out. You know, we had players who didn't really want to be there, wasn't bought into the system. You know, so it was hard to get interscholastic kids in the city to really buy into a program, especially when you're losing. You know, other stuff going on in the community that they're involved in. Our basketball team was good, but the football team wasn't just. So it was hard to really, like, have that camaraderie and that brotherhood because, man, guys was coming in and out. You know, coaches was coming in and out. You know, so the guys who really stayed and wanted to be there, man, they really wanted to be there and make something happen.
Hey, this is a question that I never really asked anybody, but I know I used to talk about it a long time ago when I was younger. As far as in, you know how colleges have Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. Same thing with high schools. Do you think that plays a part in getting scouted?
Yeah, because if you think about it, like if I'm a scout, right? I'm gonna go to the top. So if Division 1 is at the top, high school, like I'm gonna go to that school first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you go to like let's say Division III is like at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like, you know, athletic wise or ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Competitiveness. Like I'm gonna go to Division I. If I go Division III and if a guy just balling, if he getting off, like I'm gonna look at his competition and I'm gonna say, okay, who is he playing against? You know, and then I gotta compare that to the D1 guys. You know, so I think for me, if I'm a scout, it do play a part, but I also know off experience that if you can play, they'll find you. They'll come find you regardless, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I think it do kind of hurt in the sense of just that you get overlooked. But if you really that dude, you put in work in, when them coaches call and say, hey, how is so-and-so in the locker room? How is he on the field with his teammates? How is he in the classroom? How is he when adversity hit? Like if you a baller and you can play, I think they'll just come find you.
You just gotta work a little harder.
You just
Put a
got to
little
work
more
a little harder.
put a little more sweat in. That's about it, man. But ain't nothing wrong with that. You just gonna get a little better. That's it. So with the losing record and then you playing defense. First of all, if you playing defense, how do you get scouts on you playing defense? Because you're not really with the ball in your hand. You play safety, so you're not. Is it the same as a corner? I mean, because the corner you got an island. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's the same in the sense of you guarding someone and you got cues and keys, but as a safety, you just been a ball hawk. You just want to
Mm-hmm.
make plays. So the way to get noticed, if you're on defense, defense is about making plays.
Mm-hmm.
Offense is about moving in sync, you know, finding creases, making good decisions, being a little more disciplined and being explosive, X, Y, and Z. But defense is more about like just make a play
Mm-hmm.
because your only job really is to tackle the ball carrier. And if you're in a back end, safety, corner, whatever it is, even linebackers, you want to make sure the ball don't get in that guy's hand who you guarding. So the way to get noticed on defense, if you're a young guy coming up, man, you just got to make plays. When the ball in the air, make plays. Don't be afraid to fail. Take the chance. Take the risk. You know, and I mean, just when you're on defense, man, it's like you're really out there by yourself. You know, there's nobody really counting on you in a sense. Like when the ball in the air, that's your ball. You know, when that guy coming through the line, like make the play, make the tackle. You know.
Mm-hmm. So PBUs, interceptions, tackles, sacks, strict fumbles, all that,
All that,
all the
man.
stats. You know what I'm saying? That'll get the eyes on you. You know what I mean? If you don't got the ball in your hand, just do everything that we said on stat wise, and keep the numbers high. You'll definitely be somebody that get scholarships or looked at.
Absolutely.
When did you make that transition to running back?
I made the transition to running back. The end of my junior year, our running back went down, and I was the next man up.
Okay.
I was the next man up, and so they put me at running back the last maybe 4 games of the season. They put me at running back, and that's when I kind of took off with it. You know, I had like, I don't know, I can't tell how many yards, but I had a good game, you know. And then it left me in the next game. I had another good game, right? I just kept making things happen on my end to put us in position to try to win. We wasn't winning, but at least it helped. And so I felt that void. And so when I came back my senior season, you know, I was a guy. And that's why I didn't look back. I just stayed with it. You know, I ended up loving it. You know, I had some history playing running back, obviously, in, you know, first and in middle school. You know, it's an athletic position. And so that's when I started to kind of take off with it, is when they gave me the opportunity to, hey, man, look, this is your show, run it. You know, they gave me the keys to driving, so I drove it as far as I could.
When you said that your team was pretty a losing program, it was hard for everybody to buy in. With that being said, did you always know you would go to college to play football, or was that kind of like, you know, far fetched?
I can't say I always knew, but I always wanted to.
Okay.
I always had the dream to go. You know, I always wanted to play in college. I didn't really care where. It didn't matter to me. But I wanted, it's funny because we ran track growing up and we always used to put our stats, you know, our look at our times online. And so I told myself I always wanted to see my name on any school. It didn't matter what school, but I wanted to see my name online with at least one carry. Just see it online. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, man, I didn't really know I was going to go because I had bad grades and I wasn't really getting looked at. Our team was losing. So there wasn't no scouts coming to check us out. But I always knew that I wanted to be on a college team, a college program, playing running back.
You just spoke on something I was going to bring up eventually, but we're going to talk about it now since you brought it up. The grades.
Yep.
So what limited you? What was your accum, and when did you fix that? Did you go? Did you get to go to D1 outside of right out of high school, or was it kind of?
No, so just being transparent, bro, and honest. Like I graduated with a 1.26. I barely graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I wasn't able, I just wasn't willing. And
Hey, so before you go past that though, he graduated with a 1.6 and
one
still was
point.
able to make it to the league. He
Hold
went
on,
to
hold on. A 1.26.
1.26 and
Yeah.
still was able to go Division 1 and still was able to go to the league. He got drafted as well. So you can make it. It's never too late to turn it around, man.
No, man. Never.
Just want to make
So
sure they heard that.
right, absolutely. Yeah, graduated with a 1.26. Obviously, you know, teams can't take nobody in their program with a 1.26, barely graduating high school. So I went to a junior college down in California, straight from high school. Actually, so I got invited to the All-Star game as an alternate. Okay. So I was an alternate for the All-Star game. I got invited because a guy went down towards Achilles running track in the spring. So I got invited. I played that game and I balled out. I ended up getting MVP of the game. Mind you, being an alternate, I got the MVP of the game. I wasn't even supposed to be there. Okay. And so there was a scout in the stands from Eastern Arizona Junior College. And he ended up talking to me after the game and said, "Hey, give me a number. I want to talk to you." I talked to him the next day. He offered me a scholarship to go to the school in Arizona. It's still a junior college, but it was different leagues. NJCAA is different than a California junior college.
Mm-hmm.
So in California, they can't give out scholarships, but in the NJCAA, they can.
Okay.
And so I was on scholarship there. I went out there for a semester. I hated it. I didn't like the coaches. I didn't like the program. I didn't like the offense. I didn't like the area, So long story short, I ended up leaving and going to a school called Butte in California.
You didn't get to do like a visit or anything like that. They just was like,
I didn't do a visit because it was already, so the All-Star game was in June. So it was already that time for camp to start, in July. And so once he offered me the scholarship, okay, you got to be here in a month. Start getting ready. So, school's free. So mom, I'm like, hey, I'm going to Arizona, and so I go out there, man, last minute. And, it just didn't fit for me and what I wanted to do. And so, I took my talents back out west to to Butte College in California.
Okay. So with before you go to Butte and you said you didn't like what was going on, what was going through your mind? Were you still like, I'm still gonna play football and just go somewhere else, or like, man,
yeah,
go home,
by like week 4 or 5, I knew I was gone. I was redshirted. I had got hurt in training camp. It was a minor injury, but they redshirted me. They had a few guys who was All-American ahead of me, so I didn't mind it anyway. I wasn't gonna play no way. And it just didn't fit. I wasn't comfortable. Like, I ended up having like resentments towards the school and the coaches. So by week 4 or 5, man, I knew I was gonna still play. I just didn't know where until I said, okay, I'm gonna go back to Butte, my original plan, and I'm gonna go over there and do my thing there. So that next spring, I went out there.
I do want to point something out too, though. So you knew the stakes was you had an obstacle. You found a way to get through it, and still didn't let that stop you. I mean, a lot of people find obstacles, 1 obstacle, 2 obstacles. They kind of like, man, F this, and they quitting, man. If you're gonna get tired of starting over if you keep quitting, man. So never quit on what you really think you should do. So I want to applaud you on, you going somewhere, it didn't work out for you. You didn't see it working out for your future, but you were able to, find a way to fix it and, make it happen. So, that's big. If you're going through a problem, make sure you do the same thing. Find a way to fix it so that you can keep going, keep this train going, man.
Absolutely.
So how did the transfer from the other school to Butte happen? Did you communicate with them over the phone or like what?
Yeah, so I was already in contact with them, after high school.
Okay.
And so once I got done with high school, okay, I'm gonna come to Butte, and then I was like, oh well, hey, Eastern Arizona is free, so I'm gonna go out there. And so I said, okay, and I ended up calling them back You know, about 2 months later, hey, I'll be out there in the spring. You know, they still was like, hey, come on. You know, we still waiting on you. We still want you out here. Come on, you can join the spring program. You know, get acclimated to the system and see all the players. You know, get in school, and you know, we'll see you in the fall. So I went out there. I went home for 2 weeks, and then drove down to California, man, and got it cracking.
What's the me and you got the same situation where we went Juco.
Yeah.
What was your experience? And I'll tell you my experience. What was your experience? See if we have similarities.
But as you know, Juco real.
Yeah.
Juco real. So if you in high school right now and you want to go to Juco, I mean, do it. You know, if that's your option, do it. But just understand what you get yourself into. Like, it's a real grind. My experience is, you know, we had a lot of guys from Florida, Texas. So that was my first time being exposed to how they get down and how they work, you know, living situations. You know, I mean, you got 4 or 5 guys in a 1-bedroom, you
Man,
know, so some guys got to plop on the floor,
we had
you
10
know.
people in a 2-bedroom.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So you got to just make do. So JUCO is like a second chance for the ones who really want to go through the grind to get there. It's like taking the stairs up, you know. The elevator broke down, okay, it's not working right now or it's packed. There's still another option to get up. It's just going to take a little longer and it's going to hurt a little bit more. That's what JUCO really is to me. Like, it's just taking the stairs to the top. You know, but on the back end, I love the school. I love the city I was in. I love the fellowship I had with my teammates. We was winning games. We won a national championship my sophomore year. You know, we went to a bowl game my freshman year. I was getting playing time. I started. I split time my first year. Started all of my sophomore year. You know, but the living situations and outside of the ball in school, it was rough, man. It was a grind. You know, I mean, you a young kid, you know, with a dream, and you're not at home no more. And you know, you really is like more of you eat what you kill. You know, like whatever you grind for, man, that's what you eating tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like you get out what you put in. Ain't nobody gonna come save you. You can't go to grandma's real quick, get a home cooked meal. You know, you might gotta eat McDonald's all week. It might just be a meal a day. I slept in my car. For better parts of a summer, just to have like my sanity and to be like to myself, you know, for real, and going through what I was going through. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a dogfight. Like it's not. It's gonna be no walk in the park. It's not gonna be easy, you know. But if you willing to grind, if you willing to sacrifice, then you know I highly recommend it. But just know what you're getting yourself into. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. I mean, it's a second chance. You know, it's taking the stairs up, and that come with a lot of humility to go through. You know, in order to really get what you want.
The JUCO route is definitely going to be a struggle, man. The meals is going to be limited unless you just got money, you know what I'm saying, or you got a job. You know what I mean? The living situation is going to be bad unless you got money or you got a job. You know what I'm saying? But it's a true grind. Make sure you can get them grades right, and make sure you tap into them books early so that you can fit the system good. Your grades is being taken care of so that you can be a mid-year. Because a lot of coaches take mid-year. They love mid-years. You know what I'm saying? Especially you can get in before what is it? Fall camp. If you can get in, a spring camp, man, that up your chances of getting picked early. That up your chances on, schools wanting you. And then that up your chances on actually getting acclimated to the team quickly and, starting that process of your actual college career.
Exactly.
That's the thing I took from it too. I had a couple of schools interested in me, but the fact that I was in the mid-year, they kind of fell back. But Hawaii stuck with me. Illinois wanted me, but I was in the mid-year, so they kind of fell back. And then the coaching staff that was actually wanting me from Illinois kind of got fired, or the recruiter got fired too. So that fell short. Hawaii stuck with me. So that was my biggest kind of offer at the time, so I kind of stuck with it. But I mean, nowadays you can go anywhere and use that transfer portal and not have to sit out. Versus us, we had to use that transfer portal and sit out a year. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if you don't want to go to JUCO route, you don't have to. You can go to these smaller NAIA schools, D2, D3s, and ball out and transfer up if you think that'd be a better look for you and if somebody have interest in you. So But yeah, it's a lot of options that you can actually take advantage of right now. Take advantage of right now. JUCO is one, going to a smaller school and then balling out for 1 year and doing what you got to do academic wise. Transfer.
Yes, sir. That's one thing. Let me tap on that real quick too about the mid-year. Thank God for mid-years, because if it wasn't for a mid-year guys taking care of their responsibilities and their grades, I wouldn't have been at Hawaii, because I had one other offer while I was at my JUCO in California. It was from Liberty University, and I only got that offer because he came to a practice because he already offered a receiver, and so I had a hell of a practice that day, and so he ended up offering me two as a package deal. He took us on a visit. We go out there. Hey, it's a Christian school. He said, "Okay, you can come out here. We'll offer you a scholarship, but you got to cut your hair." I wasn't cutting my hair. Wasn't nowhere in hell I was cutting my hair. So I came back, and my boy that I grew up with in Portland, he also went to Butte, and he transferred to Hawaii as a mid-year. And so he was already out there talking to the coaches and getting acclimated. So once the spring came, I'm still in school in junior college. He told the coaches, "Hey, look, I got a guy, he can play. His grades a little shaky, but he can ball. He's a running back." And so that's when Coach Rolovich started looking at me and bring me out and offer me a scholarship. And then he said, "Stay for the summer, take summer classes, and then we'll bring you out later after the summer class." So thank God for mid-year guys, because if it wasn't for mid-year guys, I wouldn't even been at Hawaii. They wouldn't even looked at me, So the importance of that is, man, take care of your grades now. One, so you don't got to go to JUCO route if you got that option, or two, that once you get there, you in already university eligible classes, so that you don't have to be there for an extra spring. And like you said, you can get out in the winter and already be at your university by the spring. And guys, you get more offers if you're a mid-year guy, because now you got an extra semester to prepare with a new program.
Also, on top of that, too, so when you come in, make sure you get real good with your guidance counselor. Make sure they benefiting you by getting you in academic classes that can be transferable. Don't just get in them BS classes to get your feet wet and stuff like that, because a lot of people that I know did that as well, and it kind of hindered them. They ended up being in school at a JUCO for 3-4 years. You see people that's there for 3-4 years, 3-4-5 years. I mean, some get injury, some, just other stuff that happened, but you want to get in and get out. You want to get there for a semester, 2 years max. You know what I mean? So you can, go to the next level. You don't want to get complacent at a JUCO.
No,
that's a stepping stone for you. So
exactly.
Make sure you get in there early with the guidance counselor. Make sure you're getting them transferable credits, classes, so that you can maximize your opportunity to go to the next level, man. Everybody want to go to the next level. Don't fall short at a JUCO, man. So many people did that just because they living for the moment, chasing them girls, partying. It's nothing luxury about a JUCO.
No, it's not.
You can probably get a little luxury out of it, but it's nothing like going to a Division I, Division II,
absolutely,
Division I, AA. You know what I'm saying? On scholarship? Come on, man. Free school.
Yeah, right. Can't beat it.
Yeah. So, you balling out at the JUCO, and you say how many offers do you think you had, including Hawaii?
I had just one other, so I had two.
Okay.
Yeah, Washington flirted with me for a little bit, but the ones who really pulled that trigger on me were just Hawaii and Liberty University.
Okay. And when did you go on? You went on both visits, right?
I went on both visits. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Liberty turned you off because they wanted you to cut your hair. Other than that, you would have probably went, or I
would have went. I was coming right behind Rashad Jennings.
Mm-hmm.
I would have got 22, 25 carries a game.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been the next man up, but I stood on my belief. I didn't want to cut my hair, so I turned it down.
So you would have chose them over Hawaii?
I would have chosen them over Hawaii, absolutely, because before I got there, Hawaii was strictly passing. It was strictly passing. I came behind I was a year or two behind, but that was like the Devon Best era. Cole Brennan, and so they throwing the ball 45, 50 times a game. The running back might be getting 5-6 carries. I wasn't with that, because in my junior college, I'm getting 18 to 20.
Yeah.
And if I went to Liberty, it was the same offense, same system, power eye. I got a fullback and a tight end.
Hey, this is a soft flex, though, because at a JUCO, you got people that's trying to get their reps in so they can get filmed. You know what I'm saying? He get 18 to 20 a game?
18, 20 a game.
He really balling, or he really like that, you know what I mean? Might be some injuries back there, but hey, he getting 18, 20 a game. You know what I mean? He doing something there to keep him on the field. You feel me?
They was giving me that pill, man.
Yeah.
They was giving me that pill. Yeah, they let me do my thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Another thing about Juco, man, you got so many people that are trying to get in and get out. So you got to fight for time on the field.
Absolutely.
You might not be the only person that's good. You know what I mean? So if you know multiple positions, you know what I'm saying? So if you know multiple positions and know what plays is going on, like if they call whatever play and you usually play X, but you can play Y, or you can play Z, or you can play quarterback and you can play running back, you know what I mean? That's going to maximize your opportunity to stay on that field and ball and get more film. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you went to Hawaii, man. That visit. When you over on that visit, or it was just because that was the only option?
That too, but I still came into it like, you know, if I wasn't feeling it, if it didn't sit right with me, I wasn't gonna commit.
Mm-hmm.
So I still went into it open, even though it was my only legit offer as far as, you know, what I was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, them being a passing offense kind of steered me away. But once I got there, man, I wanted to make sure that the love was real. I wanted to make sure that, because they bring so many guys in, they had already signed a JUCO transfer running back before me. So I'm coming in like, you already got a guy. What do you really want me to do? You know, so I want to come in and see like if the love was real from the coaches. See how they ran their program. You know, obviously, see what their future plans was and what their plans was with me coming in, and you know, it all lined up. You know, it all made sense. It all aligned with, you know, the direction I was trying to go in. They said it's gonna give me the ball, be more of a, you know, draw, shuffle, you know, outside zone type offense. So, you know, and you can kind of weed out the BS. You kind of know when somebody BSing you, so I have to use my better judgment. But I checked the Rollo's pedigree. You know, I know the guys he brought in. You know, they were solid. Talked to some of the guys who's already there, got their opinions on it. You know, and you know, it just lined up, man. Obviously, it's Hawaii, so that wasn't hard to choose from the city. You know, being in the island, you know, that's just a win right there. But it ended up working out, man. It ended up being a good situation. You know, I was you know, Rollo stayed true to his promise he gave me. You know, he gave me opportunity. That was the most important thing. He promised I'd be able to get a good education, you know, and I could be able to branch off and make some things happen with that. And so, you know, that's what I did, you know, so it worked out. But I came into it with an open mind, and I wanted to make sure the love was real first.
Looking for a school when you transfer from your JUCO the same process as looking for a JUCO?
So what, the same process looking for a JUCO as a university?
Yeah, is it the same, or is it different, similar?
It's a little different. It's a little different.
What do you look for when you go to a JUCO, so that
when you go,
viewers, if they have the opportunity to go to a JUCO or have to go to a JUCO, you know what I'm saying? What should they look for in a JUCO?
Yeah, when you go to a JUCO, man, you wanna look for opportunity. You know, you want to see the guys. You don't want a whole bunch of you know, freshmen on the roster, you know, or a whole bunch of incoming freshmen. You know, you want guys who's like sophomores, to where you're gonna come into a new class where you got opportunity to really work for real. You don't want to have a bunch of freshmen there, because then you got to wait another year to even get a chance. You know, if you play running back, you don't want 4 or 5 freshmen on the roster. You know, because they're all going to be sophomores next year. You're going to be number 6 on a depth chart. Coming in is off rip, unless you're just that dude where you're going to climb the depth chart. You know, you want to look at their record. You want to see if they're winning games, right? Because it's easy for universities to overlook teams, just like in high school, overlook teams if you're not winning, to make sure the program is legit. Then you want to look at what majors they have and see if it's transferable to the schools you want to go to. Then you want to have about 3 or 4 universities you want to go to and see if that aligns, if that JUCO aligns with transferable credits with what you want to do. You know, then check the city out. You know, like, do they got housing? You know, okay, how much is housing? An expensive city. You know, where would I live? You know, how would I get to the facility? Is it on campus? Is housing on campus? Is it off campus? Okay, what does that look like? You know, so a lot of factors that go into it. But the first thing, man, you want to look at the roster, look at this the record, check the coaches out, you know, and see their pedigree, their background, and then check out your city and see where you at and see how they really run their operations about getting players to facilities and whatnot. And, you know, if you got a vehicle, if it fit for you, if not, you got to figure out transportation to get to school every day.
Yeah, I like that answer. And on the top of that, how can you look by asking the coaches, asking multiple players on the team.
Yep.
And then also Google. You know what I'm saying? Google News. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to know about the city, you want to know what the neighborhood is about, where you about to stay, what the neighborhood is about, where you about to go to school, et cetera. You know what I mean? So you can. There's a lot of outlets to kind of figure out what you're getting into before you get there.
Absolutely.
And then so you get to Hawaii, you commit, man. First of all, the transition from a losing program high school wise, and it was a winning program in at your JC. Was that a different transition for you to buy into, or was it kind of
Yeah, man. I seen the difference. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
difference was the work that we put in the off season. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we was working in the off
Mm-hmm.
season, man, like crazy. Like some days I didn't want to be there. To be
Yeah.
honest, like it was hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was hot. I was hungry. I was tired. I missed my family. You know, all those factors came into play, but I had to look at the bigger picture. You know, and the bigger picture was, man, I got something bigger than just this Juco, but it was, you know, from the coaching standpoint, man, like it was a system. You know, they had a real game plan, and they put players in position to win. You know, and we played to our strengths. You know, if you're a good inside runner, or if you're a good deep pass, you know, quarterback, you know, we're gonna play that position, and we're gonna run those plays according to that. You know, so and they brought in guys who had good fellowship. You know, who really had the same vision for it. Like we had 11 guys. My sophomore season total go Division I, and we had 3 or 4 go to the league. One of them went first round. You know what I mean? So we had dudes in there, man, who was on the same mission. You know, we built that bond together with that.
This the last thing I'll probably bring up about JUCO, man. Even though it was rough and it was kind of like the worst time, you know what I mean? It's the most memorable moments, you know what I mean? Just because you really chasing what you want to do with guys that have not a pot to piss in, you know what I mean? But y'all building something and advancing and going through the struggle together, you know what I mean? Y'all making the most fun out of it as y'all could, but at the same time grinding. So
Absolutely.
that was the most not funnest, but most memorable, and I can sit back and laugh at moments. Of course, it was much more freelance when I got to Hawaii. But as far as grinding the memorable moments, man, Ventura Community College was definitely one of those moments, man.
Nah, you said it. Even though it was a struggle, that's what made it memorable. Because you sharing that. You know what I mean? And like you said, like, man, some of my best friends to this day, I still talk to this day. I met in JUCO. You know what I mean? Like, we really went through that. And it's like, you don't, like in high school, it's like, you know, you do it because it's fun, or you want to wear the jersey on Friday, or because you play, you know, in middle school, and so you just going to play in high school, and then you're done. Or if you go to university, I'm getting paid to do it. I'm getting free school to play and whatnot, or free education. You know, you getting more publicity. But in JUCO, you really doing it because you just love the game.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's really forcing you to go to JUCO. Yeah. Nobody's like paying you to go to JUCO. They don't care if you're there. They got 1,000 guys, bro, who waiting to take your position, waiting for the opportunity to come in your spot. So when you there, it's like, okay, these guys who really want to put the work in, bro, who really want to be here, man. We, like you said, bro, even though the circumstances wasn't ideal, man, we had a ball. We made the most of it, man. I would never forget those memories we had in JUCO, man. We did some crazy stuff, man.
We had 10 people in a 10-bedroom still trying to party. We put all the blow beds away, you know what I mean? So we could have a function. It was just like, man, we got to do that, though, just to, you know, celebrate some of the little monumental moments that we kind of achieving, but at the same time,
sure.
To cover up the pain, and you know, it's kind of therapeutic, you know, to party. You know, not saying don't party, it's all grind. You know what I mean? But you gotta enjoy it. You know, you gotta enjoy it, and that's that whole live in the moment. You know, and that's what they say. The beauty is in the process. I think that's where that comes from. I realized that once I went pro, like, okay, I felt more fulfilled. Little did I know, going through that process rather than actually getting to the prize. You know, it was really going through the process where I felt more fulfilled, even though it wasn't ideal circumstances. I still felt more fulfilled, bro. Like, you know, I probably been like at my
I can't say happiest, but really like at the most like enjoyable moments that I've had to experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Was when I was really going through that fire for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you get to Hawaii, you on scholarship now. You get meals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, you
That's a
trying to
sign of
get
relief. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? But at the same
absolutely.
time, it's still a grind too. So,
It's a grind.
what was the process for you? There was a running program then versus when I was
Right.
there, but they were a winning program then. How was that experience for you? Was it an easy transition? Give me some light on that.
So doing the summer school thing, man, you know, it was just a expedited process because my teacher, my Juco teacher, had went out of town for the summer, and so she didn't post my grade until the last day of camp. So I actually slept on my homeboy's floor for a week in his dorm until my teacher posted grades so that I can officially be a Hawaii Warrior. Because I wasn't really official yet, so they couldn't honor my scholarship. So I couldn't even be around the facility yet. And so I kind of hit out. She finally posted it. And so right then, that's when camp started. And so for me, man, it was like expedited. You know, I had to get my paperwork in. I had to get my classes set up. I had no classes set up. You know, and on the field, it was just like, okay, I'm sitting behind an All-American and, you know, just find your lane, you know. So I was like, think third string. They, like I said, they offered another Juco running back. And so I had to just get in where I fit in, play team, special teams, you know, and just kind of enjoy the moment and try to get in the field. I was trying to hope to get in the field, you know, first. But it was everything. It was everything, you know, just being in that environment, you know, I mean, you playing in Hawaii, you know, at a high level. You know, this is Division I. You know, we're about to travel next week and go play San Jose State or Nevada, you know what I mean, Washington State. And so for me, man, like at that time in my life, that was a dream come true.
Right, yeah.
Just to play D1. Like I took it like step by step, like, was like, okay, I want to get my name onto a college roster, you know, and then get stats. And then it was like, okay, once I got that, I wanted to be on a Division I team. I didn't really care if I got the stats at that point in time. I wanted to be on a team, on a scholarship at D1. So I went D1 and I did. So at that time, man, it was like a dream come true. And I just took it step by step. You know what I mean? Like I went to school, did my tutoring, you know, with the practice. When games came, I got an opportunity, try to make the best of it, you know, and I had a big shot that came Washington State, but I broke a 44-yard run, touchdown run. You know, and so
can you explain to them what the lifestyle is like when you get to Division I? I mean, I can't speak for a Division II, but a Division I, what the lifestyle is like. You have a day-to-day structure. Can you kind of?
Yeah. I'm glad you said that though because people need to hear it. Division I. Okay, so I'll give you a day by day from my experience when I played. It might have been a little bit different for you, but I was kind of there with you, so I kind of seen it's very similar. So, let's say it's a Wednesday. Okay, you wake up, you walk down to the field, and mind you, it's about 4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning.
You about to leave that out?
Nah, yeah, 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning. Don't miss that part. Okay, sun ain't even up yet. Birds ain't even chirping yet.
Don't let you be late. Don't let you be late.
Nah, you can't be late. You can't be late. So you got to be up. You got to be up. Mandatory, right? So, go locker room. You get dressed. You go to practice. Okay, you got practice. 2.5 hour practice. You get done with practice. You showering. You eating. Then you go into class. Okay, you be in class all day. You in class all afternoons. You might got about 3-4 classes that day, depending on your schedule set up. At the practice, at the class, then you got film. So now you go back to your team meetings. You got film. You're gonna review practice. So you're gonna get critiqued on your practice while preparing for the game. Then after that's done, then you got study hall. Now, mind you, this might be about this point in time. It might be about 6 o'clock at night. Right, about 5 or 6 at night. You got study hall. I think we had it from 6 to 8. 6 to 8. So let me go back. From 4:30 in the morning, you'll wake up. You still out. You ain't went home yet. You still out grinding. You doing football in school. That's your job, you know, until about 8 o'clock at night. get done with study hall, man, then you go back to your room. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you gotta be up at 4. So you about to talk on the phone for a hot second, maybe, and you going to bed.
I would hope you get
That's it.
maximizing your sleep. I would hope they maximizing their sleep. But also you got weight room in there too somewhere somehow.
Weight room in the morning. So after practice, you hit the weights, and then you eat. Yep. Then you go to class.
Yeah. But man, that's like you don't have time. You have time to BS, but you really don't have time. Like if you BSing, you know what I'm saying? Somehow, somewhere you're gonna be late. Somehow, somewhere it's gonna show in your performance. Somehow, somewhere it's gonna just show. So you might as well take advantage of just your time management, man. Your time management. Pick
Absolutely.
and choose when it's best to BS. You know what I'm saying? Which that should be on a shorter part of your worries or trying to do.
Absolutely.
You playing at Butte and in high school in front of max 500 people,
right?
Or 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Because you have some of them games where if you went to a state championship, you have 1,000, maybe 2,000 max. But you go to a daggone Division I. You say you play what? You say Washington State.
We played against Washington State. Yep, that was a big one.
Their capacity on their stadium is what, 40,000 plus?
About 45,000. Yep.
So you went from 1,000 people watching you to, granted you got a face mask on so you can cover up, but still like the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? The lead up. Did you have anxiety? Was that something that you could deal with? Is that something that was kind of hard for you to deal with?
Yeah, I had anxiety before every game.
Yeah.
I always had anxiety. I always had the little butterflies, the nerves going.
Mm-hmm.
But particularly the big games, it's a little more. It's a little more. I remember that game. That game was actually in Seattle. So we played at the Seahawks Stadium.
Oh, okay.
That game actually, so there's a lot more people there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's exciting. You know what I mean? Like, it's your first time being in front of a lot of people, but it's also nerve-wracking because everybody watching you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't want to mess up, X, Y, and Z, but you want to ball, because if you ball, everybody going to see you. So that's where you got to kind of trust your preparation during the week. That's why putting the work in during the week is so important, so that once you go into these big games, all you're doing is just trusting your preparation. You just balling, you just having fun. Like the game, all the my players now that I coach, the game should be easy. The hard part is in practice. The game should be where you have fun and you unleash everything and you just go enjoy the game, enjoy the moment. So, but it was my first time being around that many fans, and really being like the spotlight for real, and I ended up breaking out a big run, and I broke it out and I scored right where my family was at, so that was pretty dope, but it was one of those moments, man, where it was like an eye opening moment, like, okay, we really here.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that's definitely another dream come true right there, playing in front of your family, scoring and everything, man. So I did want to touch base on before I forgot. When did you start? But keep conversation on this topic. But when did you start getting into the gym? When did you start getting into recovery? And when did you start getting into the nutrition? Because at a young age, we kind of don't really touch bases on that. We kind of eat whatever mama gave us. And then the recovery and stuff like that, we don't really start doing that until high school. I mean, not even really high school, college.
Yeah. Exactly. Like for me, man, like I didn't care what I ate in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Especially not middle school. I didn't really care about stretching. I might have hit the gym 10 times in high school out the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't really pressed for me to be in there. It wasn't mandatory for me to be in there. And I really didn't care that much to be in there.
Right.
And as far as like recovery and whatnot, like I didn't do none of that stuff until I got to college.
Right.
And even then, it was bare minimum.
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I was,
minimum for sure, but hey, you doing it though.
yeah, yeah, you're doing it, but it's like I'm not really doing it for me. I'm doing it just because I have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might get hurt, so okay, I gotta go see the trainer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I felt that pain in my hip 2 weeks ago, and I never got it taken care of. You know, I never cared about it. You know, until it got bad to where I had to go to this training room. I probably got in a hot tub, cold tub, in the facilities, man, probably like the whole 4 times, the whole season. You know, like I didn't really care about it. It wasn't until I got to the league that's when I started understanding how important it was to take care of my body.
Yeah.
You know, and how important it was to stay in the training rooms and stay stretching and stay eating healthy and stay in the hot tub and cold tub to recover your body, because your body really taking a beating that your body's not set up to take that kind of beating. So you got to treat it at a high level the same way you performing at a high level. They go hand in hand. You know, you perform at a high level, you got to take care of your body at a high level.
Man, if you do that at an early age, especially in high school, man, your body will so fine tune. Your body will be like a well-oiled machine, ready to go at any moment. I was a guy that crammed a lot when I was younger. So, granted, when I got older, that's when I started knowing about recovery, nutrition, and preparation. My preparation in nutrition and recovery wasn't always like the best. Like I wasn't elite at that, but I definitely took advantage of that, and it showed in my not not having those muscle spasms, those cramps anymore.
Right.
So yeah, but our stories are so similar, man, because we both went to Juco. We both went to Hawaii. When I got brought into Hawaii, it was between me and Melvin, and they really wasn't even going to offer me because they was really stuck on Melvin because he was a bigger back and he had a little bit of speed on him. But Wayne Moses, which is Norm Child's sidekick, but he vouched for me. Norm Child was vouching for Melvin. But Wayne Moses, my guy, he definitely stuck his neck out there for me, which he didn't even have to. You feel me? But got me there, and ended up working out for me. So you know what I'm saying. And then also playing in front of my family. I didn't score, but we played Ohio State in front of my family, in front of my hometown, my home city. You know what I'm saying? That was just a big dream come true. I didn't think I was going to be able to ever play Division I, especially with going the JUCO route, and then not being a mid-year guy, and then also Norm Child not really wanting me, and then coming to find out we're playing against Ohio State at home, and I'm starting. I'm saying, hey, that's right there. You know what I'm saying?
That's something different.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. Ohio State, playing in Ohio State, that's different. What was that like? Like
it was a great experience. I mean, I feel like the first, they're gonna think I'm crazy, but the first 2 quarters, I feel like we could have beat them. No lie.
Yeah, I believe it.
I feel like we could have beat them. I feel like they was coming up. That was their year. That was their first game of the year. They came off with the championship banner. They not really excited for the game because they playing against Hawaii. They thinking it's just an easy game. And we coming out. If we would have stayed on the same path that we was doing on like play calling, I swear we would have kept moving the ball, scored, because they didn't start scoring until I believe second half. And we was moving the ball on them a little bit. I think our passing game was. I think our ended with like 50 plus yards, but it was under 100 yards. But playing against these big teams, man, these guys with big names, man, it's like, man, they just people like they people like us. You know what I mean? Granted, they playing at a higher level, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I got the best blocking or nothing like that. I think my worst part of my game is blocking. But me going up against these guys, man, like Joey Bosa, he was more pity pat finesse. I'm thinking that he a big bruiser. I mean, that's his game too, though. Pity pat finesse, but I don't think he's gonna come with some aggression too at the same time. And not saying I was more nervous, like, oh damn, okay, I'm going to against this big time guy. But at the end of the day, the nerves kind of settled down. I'm like, these just they just like me.
They human beings, bro.
Just like me. They just like me.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was one of them guys where my confidence came more throughout the game as the game progressed. I'm nervous thinking about, am I going to drop the pass? Am I going to fumble? Am I going to mess up? Blah, blah. But even though I had good preparation, that was just stuff that was going through my head. But as the
Right.
game progressed, I'm like, oh, they can't mess with me, man. Wait. How
Right.
was your process? Is that the same process for you, or is that a little different?
Yeah, I mean, I think just as like athletes and like just human nature, you always think about like, okay, like I hope I don't fumble, I hope I don't just pass, miss his block, go the wrong way. I think that's just normal. Like I had that every game, from little league all the way to I played in Green Bay, New York. But I was kind of the same way. Like as the game go on, I kind of get a feel for how it's going, then my confidence kind of spike up. After you get that first couple of hits, because I always hype it up in my mind, like, okay, this hit gonna be a big one, or when I go to the middle, okay, homeboy over there, being linebacker, he finna come with it. So, but then once I get up there, it's like, oh, nah, we good,
We good. We
yeah, it's gonna be a game. I'm finna go crazy. So,
what was your biggest game in your college career?
My biggest game stat wise,
walk us through, like, you know what I'm saying, your biggest game, you know what I'm saying, and what your thought process is. And if you need an example, I'll tell you an example. Like we
give me an example.
We playing against Boise State, we getting blew out. But at the same time, it's like, I got a winning mentality. Even though I've been a part of different organizations that have been losing, I'm still in that silent, like, yo, let's turn up, man. I don't get blown out. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got scouts here. You know what I'm saying? At this time, I got a kid on the way. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I got to feed. I'm trying to go crazy. You feel me?
Right.
So, granted, we losing, but at the beginning of the game, we wasn't getting blown out. But every time I got the ball, like, I'm making plays. I ain't score. I don't know why I never scored on Boise. I had I think I'm roughly around 10 to 15 carries for over 150 yards. It's just like every time
you went off.
You feel me? But at the beginning, I'm kind of like, you know what, man? We playing Boise State last year. They kind of hit me a little hard. You know what I mean? I thought I had a concussion. I still played through it though. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Let me make sure I protect myself. Make sure I don't fumble. Blah blah blah. But as I'm playing, I'm like, 10 yard, 15 yard, 20, 25 yard, 50 yard. Or I just broke off a tackle off their biggest player. Or I stepped in. I'm going crazy.
Right. It's on. Yeah.
So what was the process for you when your biggest game?
My biggest game, man, was obviously when I broke that record, man, against New Mexico State. I can't, because
I broke a record too. Then
what record you broke?
The longest yard.
That's right. The longest run. Yeah, that's right. What you had? 98.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what's up.
UC Davis though, but still, that's an accomplishment.
Somebody, look, I used to say that about my record. You know what somebody told me? Ain't nobody else done it against them. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter, right? So that's big respect to you. That's what's up. Ain't nobody else did that against UC. So, own that. But mine was New Mexico State. When I popped off 327 on them, 3 tugs, but 327 on him.
He tried to speed past that though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, nonchalant, humble.
Yeah, 327.
Don't give shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. So that game, man, it was I remember it being cold, and that was the game. So the night before, Boise State had just lost to Nevada, and we beat Nevada. And so if we beat that team, or I think we would have beat New Mexico State, we would have been co-champions, in the conference co-champions. So that's why I got my ring. But so we in a hotel going crazy when we see Nevada beat Boise. We going crazy, like, oh, we in there, blah blah blah. So when the game come, we like, okay, we got this. It started off slow. I remember getting tackled the first play, and the dude, he got up. Hey, yeah, you ain't gonna get blah, blah, blah. He doing all his little talking. I'm like, oh, okay. After that, bro, I turned it up. Next handoff, 25-yard touchdown. I came back, like a 71-yard run, broke a 60, a 65, 235. I started going off, bro. Like, the game was just, like, I was just in the zone. And my homeboy saying he was on defense. My homeboy like, bro, I was just watching you, bro. Like, you was really on a different level. And I don't know what really came over me. I don't know if like him talking mess to me or what it was, but like once I hit that zone, bro, like that was it. I just kept zoning out, bro.
It
Yeah,
was
I was
game. It was
unstoppable.
game breaker.
I was unstoppable, bro. Like
You don't
my
hear the
mindset.
fans. You don't hear the fans no more.
You
You
don't
just
hear the fans. I'm not getting tired. You
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? I wasn't
Second
even
win
getting
kicked in.
tired. Yeah, I got my second win, bro. Like the hits, I was breaking tackles. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Dudes were diving at my legs. I'm jumping over. I'm stiff
Mm-hmm.
arming dudes. Like it was crazy, bro. Like I was a whole different dimension.
Yeah.
You know? And I look up, man. I remember going to the huddle, and one of my linemen was like, "Hey, bro, like you almost gonna break the record." I'm like, "For real? What I got?" He's like, "Man, you had like 290." And I'm like, "Never. For real?" He's like, "Yeah, bro, you finna break it." I told Rolo, "Man, can you give me the ball? What's the record?" I think it was like 310 or something. Like, man, let me break this thing real quick. You know what I'm saying? Keep feeding me. It's sure, you know. And so he kept feeding me the rock, man. I kept popping it on him. I just kept getting off. It just couldn't stop me in that game. But I just had their whole number.
Yeah, no,
You know.
the experience of, you know what I'm saying, we barely, not saying we don't have confidence in ourselves, but we going through all the analytics of like, damn, don't fumble, don't, you feel me? All the thought process of don't fumble, you know what I'm saying? To then getting in the zone and then everybody like, yo, we need you. Like,
Right,
damn, play
right,
for us, damn, like,
right.
play for us. Like that whole experience right there is just like, you feel me? One that you want to experience, man. That's a great experience, but it's a big experience too. Because I mean, it's a big weight on your shoulders too. But if you prepare for it, you know what I'm saying, it shouldn't be that big of a weight on your shoulders. But
Absolutely. And I think that's what the beauty of it is that, you know, you might go into something nervous or you might doubt yourself, but once you start getting it going and then you end up breaking a record, you know, or winning the game or doing better than what you thought, I think that's that learning curve. I think what develops you. So, you know, if you feeling nervous or discouraged or doubtful, like do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Do it anyway, because you never know what can come from it. Like, and great things happen, bro, when you just put your all into it, no matter if you're nervous or not. You know, because truth be told, if you got 11 people on the field, offense and defense, probably 22 that's on the field probably feel the same way you feel. It's just human nature. You know, just the ones that do it is what's gonna separate you.
No, yeah, man.
For sure.
When did you know or feel that you had the ability, the talent, and the grind to make it to, you know, the NFL?
Even after the record was broke, I still was just kind of stuck in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was kind of just stuck in, like, you know, winning games and going to a bowl game. I think the around the last 2-3 games when scouts started coming out to our practices, and that's when, you know, I see them kind of go over there to where I was at, where the running backs was at, and when they would talk to the coach, Coach Smith, after practice. You know, like, oh, okay, like, and so I remember asking Coach Smith, the running back coach, I remember asking him, like, "Then I got a chance to go to the league, like, for real?" And he like, "Yeah." I'm like, okay. That's when my mind started like, okay, I really got a shot at this thing, because I really wasn't looking at the NFL like that when I was like coming up. It was always like when I was in high school, it was like, okay, like high school ball is dope. I'm looking at all the high school balls around the country. Then when I was in college, like college was just dope to me. Like just watching college ball and Reggie Bush, like it was just dope to me. And then like I ain't really watched the league like that until I started getting noticed. Then it started piquing my interest, you know. But I didn't really know, bro, that I had a chance to go until like late my senior season. I was just stuck in the moment.
Yeah. I kind of wish I would have went my junior year, especially when we had a coaching staff change.
Yeah.
That was my peak right there. And then you know, with the coaching staff change, they kind of bring in who they want to bring in. They didn't recruit you.
Right.
Last year didn't really matter. They think about longevity. You know what I'm saying? Anything about this year, they're talking about the next 3 years following. So
right.
Over having over 1,000 yards, 15 to 20 carries a game or more, and then to 0 to 10 is kind of like, okay, next person, because we don't know if you're a knucklehead. They ain't gonna do their due diligence on trying to figure out what's going on with you. They just want to see you perform. If your stats are still there, they're gonna fuck with you. If their stats ain't there, they going to the next, man. They ain't really got time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that was a hard position for you to be in. Because it switched from child to Rolo, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you being a senior, they looking at who coming in next.
But the crazy thing is, though, and not to make it about me, but the crazy thing is, though, we sharing stories. when he got there, I was so embracive of him. Like, yo, I'm a humble guy. I'm trying to buy into your program. Whenever he was whenever I had time outside of my schedule, I would let him know, like, yo, I'm free. Can I come up there and learn? Can I come up there and learn the system that you're bringing in?
Right.
And such and such. So we getting acquainted. He'll call me sometime and they, you free? And I'm about to pull up. He when he first got his Benz, he pulled up like, yo, I hopped in. We went out to eat, talking. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling.
Yeah.
You feel me? But then once the season hit, it was just like
a little different energy.
Yeah,
a little different.
You know what I mean? But I bought in, and it just didn't. I guess it wasn't fitting for what he wanted. So,
Right.
But yeah.
But that's one thing too, man. Them coaches.
If you ever in a situation now, you can take advantage of it because you got a transfer portal. You got the transfer portal, so you use that to your advantage. You know what I mean? You got a new coach staff coming in. You don't think you're gonna be able to fit the system, or they ain't rocking with you like that. Go ahead and use that transfer system because you don't got that transfer portal because you don't got set out a year. I was a senior too, so I didn't have a year to.
You couldn't sit out. Yeah, right, you had to stay there. Right.
Yeah. So you balled out. Why you broke the record, man? Senior year. After senior year, what's next? Like what are you thinking after the last game? What are you thinking?
So after the bowl game, I'm thinking about the league. I'm thinking what's next. By this time I already had some janky agents call me. They ain't supposed to call me, but I had some local dudes call me and, give me their pitch. I'm like, look, man, I'll talk to you when the season ends.
What's your process of finding an agent though? What's your process?
So soon as the season ended, I go back home and have my phone buzzing, and for me, it was just finding somebody that I can really trust for real because I look up on the internet, and I'm projected to go free agent. I'm like 7th round to free agent. So I really ain't supposed to even really get drafted for real. Like I'm lucky if I go. So I'm looking for somebody who I can trust and not feed me no BS. And I had one dude come in, and they always gonna try to they're trying to work for you. So they're gonna pitch they best foot forward. They're gonna tell you what you want to hear. They know you young, and it's a business. And that's what, if you're in college right now looking at this, understand bro, it's a business first. Then they're your friend, whatever it is, acquaintance, whatever, next, But for me, man, it was finding somebody who I can really trust. I got trust issues, so I ain't trust nobody. I ain't. So dude had flew out to the house. I like how he sounded on the phone. He sounded confident. He had about 16 years experience. He played in the NFL before, so he know what it's like. And he was willing to come out to me. So he flew out to me, came to the house, met moms, all that. He came with some paperwork, his portfolio, solid dude. And so I gave him kind of a soft commit. And I did my research on the back end. So always do your own research. They can tell you what they want to tell you. They can bring in what they want to bring. Do your own research. Especially now, you got internet. Do your own research, right? Make the phone calls, look it up, do what you got to do to figure out who's going to be in your life, especially when it comes to finances. And so for me, man, I looked him up and I found out that he had a rape charge back in the day. And I'm like, even though it wasn't the fact, a rape charge is serious, don't get me wrong, but it was more of the fact, because when I looked it up, it said he was accused of it, but he pleaded innocent. So he never got no time for it. But the fact that he didn't mention it to me, he didn't bring it up, that's what scared me off. So, and I told him, I said, look, man, you didn't bring this up. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't think I should because, I was innocent, just somebody accused me. And I said, yeah, but the fact that it's out there and you didn't bring it to my attention, and I'm trying to trust you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring it to my family, essentially. You dealing with finances and whatnot, and it's my life. And so I didn't go with him. I talked to another guy who called me. He ended up being a good dude. He had a good background. He was with Shaq. He had a couple dudes in the league.
He was
You
with Shaq.
know, yeah, he was Shaq's
Shaquille
representative.
O'Neal.
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal. Yep.
Hey, why you? Hey, man, why you trying to throw it in there, man?
Well, nah, yeah, he was
Shaquille O'Neal, man, that's crazy.
yeah, big D's, you know, Big Diesel. You know what I'm saying? He was he was Shaq's agent, so that kind of turned me on to him. Cause okay, Shaq's solid, like that's Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Like I know he legit, cause Shaq a solid dude and he don't play. And so he flew me out to LA. And what I liked about him is that when he flew me out, he put me on he put me in the back of the plane, you know, put me in coach. And he gave me extra money and he said, oh, if you want to, you can upgrade to first class. It's only $50. So I'm gonna send you $100. You can do first class going there with the $100 or first class coming back with the $100. So I took the $100, I flew coach down there, got off the plane, met with him. You know, he also had like 12 years experience at that time. You know, he brought his assistant with him. Sat at his restaurant, put me in a nice hotel, you know, and we just talked. You know, we talked about logistics, we talked business, we talked about the future, and he told me, he said, look, man, I think that you a third round back. I think you can go third round. Now, mind you, I was supposed to go free agent. And so I'm like, okay, I smell BS. Like I ain't really fooling with that for real. And so he like, look, you know, you gotta understand your value and what you bring. And so that's when he started getting my attention, because now he putting it in my hands and he kind of hyping me up and telling me how to market myself and what I bring to the table, all the things that I've done. That's when I started liking him. And then, but the good part of him was that with that $100 he gave me, he wanted to see what type of person I was with my money. Right, these flies tearing me up. But he wanted to see who I was with my money. And so he wanted to see if I'm going to be one of those guys who want the luxury stuff, or am I going to be a guy who would sit in coach and save the money. He was kind of testing me, and I like that about him because I'm a humble dude by nature, and that's how he run his operations too. He want to see, okay, if you want some humble stuff, I got some opportunities for you, and I want to work with you. But if you want some luxury stuff and you just want luxury, you know what I'm saying, then you might go a different direction. So that kind of turned me on to him, because he wasn't really about like just, oh, like take, give. He was about saving, marketing. You know, he was about longevity. And so, which is why it made sense that he was with Shaq, you know. And so I got with him, but the process was just like, I mean, think of it like if you dating a new girl, bro, and you got limited time to meet her and get to know her, like going on a blind date, you meet her and you got like one night to know if she's going to be wifey or not. You know, so you want to ask all the questions, the detailed questions. You know, you want to get the right answers. You want to feel the right vibe, and you want to make sure the situation fit for what you want to do, because it's a life. It's your livelihood at this point. You know, you don't got much time, because as soon as I got my agent, now I'm getting invited to the East and West Star All-Star game. Going to the combine. You know, my draft stock start going up. You know, and now you got somebody working for you.
This all happened with you attaching your name to him, correct? Or
Correct.
do you think this would have happened without your name attached to him?
Nah, I don't think it would have happened without his name. I might have had like some buzz, but I'm pretty sure he pushed it. You know, we started getting articles come out, and they'll pay news reporters to put an article out for you. But the article is for you to get more publicity. The more publicity you got, the more people see you, they want you. Okay, now you hot commodity. You know, so they start working for you. You know, they start working for you. And he didn't want nothing from me until I got drafted. You know, he did everything for free up until that point. Once I got drafted, then the payroll started, signed the paperwork, and then after that, he sent me down to Exos in LA to go train. So now I'm training with like the Von Millers, you know, Tywan Jones, Julian Edelmans, you know, all those guys out there, Mark Ingrams, and started getting more exposure. You know, then I'm getting invited to the combine. I got invited to the combine while I was still in Hawaii before the season ended. But after that, everything else, East West All-Star game, all that stuff started coming around more and more and more, you know. So it was like, you know, you got to find somebody who's willing and ready to work for you, and they got a pedigree. Like they got leverage, they got background, they got experience, and they know what they're doing, and they got the resources to connect you. Because if you don't get drafted, they got resources where they can get you into another team in a good situation. You know, so you want to make sure your agent got good resources. That's huge.
Big game right there. It's the cheat code right there. Make
Yeah,
sure that
yeah, man.
you have high value, but make sure that agent adds value to you, man. Make sure that
Mm-hmm.
agent can definitely put you in rooms that you typically don't think you can get yourself in. You feel me? So like he said, he gave you some game right there.
Yeah, man.
So you training with these guys, man. That's letting you know, one, I'm supposed to be here because one, you keeping up with these guys. You excelling probably better than some of them.
Mm-hmm.
You leading up to draft day, man. Did you start believing that you're supposed to go third or fourth round like he told you prior to draft day?
So leading up to draft day, that's when I had a feeling I was gonna go third round. Third round was generous for my projection.
Mm-hmm.
Once the running back started going off the board, I think Mark went first. After Mark went, it was up in the air at that point. I know I had a good combine, I had a good pro day, I had a good showing at the East West Shrine game. I did everything on my end that I had to do to show these scouts that I was worthy to be.
What's some
at
numbers?
least.
What's some numbers to kind of put out so that people know what you did, and then also what's good numbers to kind of put out so that you can get some name or
Yep. So combine wise, I came in 6'1", 225. I put up 20 on the bench on a 225 bench press.
mm-hmm.
I run a 4.49 40. I hit a 4.15 in my shuttle. You know, these flies eat me, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a good individual workout. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I caught every pass. I made the right cuts on the bag drills. And I think I interviewed good. The interview is a big part of it too. People don't understand because they might call you at 2 a.m. Like, hey, you got an interview at 2:30. You know what I mean? So you got to get up and get. I mean, it's up to you. You can either get dressed, put a polo on. Some dudes had on suits 2 a.m. It all depends, you know. Or you can go out there in your sweatsuit, you know, your combine sweatsuit. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interview, so you marketing you, you know. So however you want to go about it, but they called me. I throw on a polo, you know, and some jeans. I go down there. You know, you interviewing with Detroit Lions at 2:00 in the morning. You sitting in a room like a boardroom, and you know, it's kind of like you getting just getting scolded, basically. You know what I mean? Like you just sitting there. They got about 6, 7 coaches, and they just questioning you, asking you questions. And you got to just answer them. You know, you
What's
sitting
some
there
questions?
sweating.
Can you give us like 3 questions that they might ask you?
Yeah, so they ask you about like your family life. You know, they'll ask you like, okay, if we draft you, who's gonna come with you? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's the first thing you're gonna spend your money on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll ask you something like, what's your biggest fears? You know, like what's your goals? Like, okay, if we draft you, like what's your goals once you get here? You know, they how we interviewing the agents, now they interviewing you because now they investing in you. And they
Right.
want to see what kind of person they getting, you know, what kind
Right.
of player they getting, where their money going. And
Mm-hmm.
so they got a limited amount of time to know who you are. They see you on film, and that's cool, but they want to see what kind of person you are, you know, off the
Mm-hmm.
field. They want to see how you really getting down, what's your mindset, what's your morals, your values, you know, what you stand on for real. So, you know, you got to know who you are. You got to know who you are. And if it worked with what they want to do, you know, then you got a good shot. But it's a real interview. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're applying for a job, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're applying for a job. It's not a typical job though, so you know, it's gonna be a little different. You interviewing at 2 a.m, and then you wake up and you got your next combine day. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But you know, it's a real interview, man. So you know, you come in there, put your best foot forward, stand on what you believe, and you know, if they like it and it work, you know, then it's God's timing. If not, then you know, somebody will like it. You only need one. That's the beauty of it too, is that you only need one team to like you.
One team,
You
not
know,
every team. One team.
not every team. You only need one team to like you. So, you know, when I went into it, man, I wasn't really discouraged. I know the film spoke for itself, and I knew that, you know, they was going to see the kind of person I was, and, you know, if this person didn't like it, I know that person might. You know, somebody going to like it. Out of 32 teams, somebody going to like you.
Mm-hmm. So you went from being projected to be drafted in like late round or maybe just free agent to
Yep.
being drafted in the third round, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
In the third round.
Now you get drafted in the third round, and now you actually on the field as far as in practice facilities. How does that feel? How does that transition? How's that work ethic? How's that structure?
So my draft wasn't a typical draft because we was in a lockout.
Oh, yeah.
So again, more adversity hit. You know what I'm saying? More little setbacks. So I get drafted. I get the phone call. I'm at home showing my boys. Mind you, I'm supposed to go, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, undrafted. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the second to the last call for the day. In the third round, and Green Bay called my phone. Looking at my phone like, looking at my boy like, nah, ain't no way. And answer my phone like, hello. I'm like, yeah, it's Alex, it's Ted Thompson, Green Bay Packers. How you doing? I'm like, I'm doing great. How you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing good. He said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, your day finna get a lot better. We're going to take you 96 pick in the third round. And I'm like, well, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm turned up. You hear me? So, I go crazy, and like, hey, you want to talk to your coach? And I'm like, yeah, put him on the phone. Like, let me talk to him. I'm still going crazy. Like, oh, my boy, like, let's go. And get on the phone with the coach and talk to other coaches, talk to McCarthy, talk to my running back coach, John Fontenot. And yeah, man, it was like, but it was a lockout. So it was like, yeah, we can't really talk to you no more after this. So once this lockout ends, we're going to get a hold of you and bring you up here so you can get everything situated and get you into the organization and get this ball rolling. So I'm like, okay, bet. And mind you, this is in April. So I'm like, okay, I might get another month to chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to happen soon. Man, they didn't call until July 28th.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that whole time, bro, instead of going up to my team, being with the other rookies, going through OTAs, getting used to the system and the plays and all that good stuff, getting my locker, my number, and feeling good, we at the crib.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine getting drafted, you know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as I got drafted, bro, that's my life change. Like, life change,
Mm-hmm.
life changing. My phone blowing off the hook. I turned my phone off that night. I called my mom. She's screaming, crying. Got the phone with her, turned my phone on, bro, and just party with my boy. And that next day, man, like, your life changed, but you at the crib. You ain't really go nowhere yet. So you really stuck. And so I had to kind of deal with that and fight through that.
But do they instantly like give you your bonus or
Nah, they can't talk to you. They can't do nothing with you.
But typically after they tell you they drafted,
Typically, yep, you'll go up there and then that's when you sign. Once you go up there, you'll sign. And then like the next couple of weeks, that thing gonna hit your check account. You know what I'm saying? That thing, that heavy bag gonna come rolling in. You know what I'm saying? But when I got there in July, it was already like camp. The season finna start soon. The lockout just ended. The media going crazy and the media everywhere. And it's like, okay, y'all in it. Like, man, look, ignore the media. We got to get y'all in this system. We got to figure out what's going on. We got a game. We got a season to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I come in, bro, and I'm, we got Ryan Grant starting at James Starks, and I was the third down back. And I come in, bro, and it's just, it's chaos. You know what I'm saying? Everything fast. You know what I mean? Like, we going from this drill to that drill. You know what I'm saying? We going from this play to that play. Like, it's just chaotic, bro, but it's still love because I'm in a huddle and Aaron Rodgers in a huddle calling a play. So I'm still kind of starstruck while trying to learn, while still being in awe that we got more fans than I've seen in my high school games at practice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like at practice, bro. At practice. We're talking about practice. Not a game, to my practice. You know what I'm saying? So for me, man, that was dope. It was just like, bro, like I'm really like in this, like, it was just, practice at night. We had meetings all day, practice at night because it was hot out. And it was like a game, bro. We ride our bikes and Green Bay ride the bikes to practice, bro. The fans going crazy. You got fans outside the gate, the media everywhere, like all in your face. We're like a game, bro. Practice is like a game. You know what I'm saying? And you get to the games, bro. And the game, first, let me go back to the structure of like the meetings and stuff. So we got to college, how that's set up. You there from 4 a.m. until 8 at night. In the league, you got your first meeting is at 8, right? So you get there about 7, eat breakfast, shower, get ready. Bless me. Meetings at 8, and then you go to you got meetings till about 12, 1 o'clock. You got lunch, more meetings. Then you got practice at night. That's training camp, and then you get done about 9 at night. Once you get showered, get in the ice tub, hot tub, get stretched out. You get back to your dorm about 10 o'clock. Either you're gonna study your playbook or you finna get sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You got an option, but you can't do both. That's kind of how they set it up that way. And so, but that's training camp. Training camp is hell. They call it hell week. Like it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
In season, that's when you make it. Like everybody hates training camp, but when you in season, that's when, okay, I feel good. Because training camp, you ain't even getting paid. You get paid $800 a week.
Mm-hmm.
But in season, that's when you start getting your bread, all that stuff. It practices from, probably like 12:30 to 2. Yeah, real quick, they're real short. You gotta be there at 9, and then once practice is over, you done for the day. You got a meeting, then you done for the day. So you get home about 4 o'clock. You good. It's like Mondays you gotta practice. Tuesday always day off. Wednesday and Thursday is the hard day. That's when you're in full pads, full contact. Friday walkthrough, Saturday travel day, Sunday you rocking. Right,
you got to be around some elite players that can be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you think? I don't know if you got to see their regimen, but what do you think their regimen was that was different, that made them stick out performance-wise than the average Joes or the people that were just considered average Joes?
Yeah, so I played with B.J. Rogers. I played with Charles Woodson, Clay Matthews, obviously Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, Jermichael Finley, you know what I mean? Jeff Saturday, Desmond Bishop. I played with some dudes, on just that one team alone. Sam Shields. I played with some dudes, Morgan Burnett, but James Starks. But the difference, bro, was the discipline, the work ethic, and the drive. And I'll give you an example of that. Charles Woodson, he riding a bike. He riding a bike in a weight room, right? The exercise bike in a weight room before the game, before anybody get there. So we go in there with our clothes on and we think we swagged out, feeling good, going to the game. He already in there with a sweatsuit on, getting a sweat and getting a workout in before the game. Then he going to the treatment room. This is like 3-4 hours before the game. He already getting it in, right? Then he watch. So while guys getting undressed and changing their clothes and getting ready for the game, he already in film. He already warmed up. He ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers. I'll give you an example of him. He walking to the lunchroom like this. He got his iPad out watching film. You know what I mean? Like he was sick. He was sick in love with the game. You know what I'm saying? Like next level type stuff. Like he not even enjoying his meal. He watching film while he eating. To go to film. The next session is film. He watching film before film. You know what I mean? So when you talk about putting that work in, man, and going that extra mile, that's what it takes. That's what it takes, man. Yeah.
How big is film though? Do you think film is a big thing, or is film? Could you hear about some of the greats that don't watch film that perform well, but if they watch film, they game probably be a lot more elite than.
Absolutely. I mean, film is critical. Critical. You know what I'm saying? Like because. One, you watching yourself and what you're doing, but two, you watching your opponents and you get the chance to look at cues, right? So you can get an edge. And at that level, everybody's great. Everybody can play. Everybody's fast. Everybody's strong. There's no weakness. Everybody can hit hard. Everybody has a gift. Everybody's talented, right? But what separates you is that if you can find cues. And so that's where the film come in. And that's what's going to separate you. If I know when this guy's blitzing, because every time he blitzing, he turned his right foot in. Okay, I got an upper hand on him. So it don't matter how strong he is and how fast he is. I know I can beat him to his spot faster than he can because I got my cue. Right? I know when he gonna drop back in coverage. He got his foot turned out. So okay, so if I'm a quarterback, if I see that, okay, I know he blitzing, I can audible. Oh, hey, run right there, right? Check, check, check. I know he blitzing. Or if he in coverage, oh, check, check, check. I'm gonna run the ball because he gonna go back in coverage, so they in the cover too, right?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of things that you pick up on when you watch film, and you get to watch yourself, and you get to self-evaluate yourself because we are our own worst critics. So we're gonna see things that coaches don't see.
Right.
You know, we're gonna point out flaws that we notice that nobody else noticed, and that's the beauty of getting better is that we can always correct that. But you got to watch the film to understand that.
Yeah.
You got to have a way to get an edge, whether that's eating right, whether that's working out more, whether that's going to bed, sooner, whether that's waking up earlier, whether that's spending more time in the film room, asking the coaches more questions, or getting extra reps after practice if you miss reps during practice. Whatever it is, you got to find a way to get an edge on your opponent and don't be outworked because at this point in time, man, everybody can play. And you gotta take your game to the next level if you want to really be great and do something with yourself. Because, man, like, nobody gonna lay down and just give you the goal. You got to go take it. And the way you take it is by putting the extra work in.
Yeah. How was the locker room experience? You know, game like experience. I mean, you played
Lit.
you played a lot of snaps. You locker room. I mean, locker room for us. You know what I'm saying? We shooting dice. You know what I'm saying? It's a brother camaraderie. You know what I mean? You got some fights going on in there. You probably got the hazing point, especially with the new freshmen when they first come in. I mean, is that the same process? I mean, that's in college. Is that the same process in pro, or what would you say?
You know what was different about the pros than that? Nothing. It was the same way, bro. The same way, bro. We shooting dice. People putting their game checks up. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't putting my game check up, but some dudes who really had it putting their game checks up. You know, there's fights. You know, if you got to get down, you're gonna go into the bathroom and fight. You know, nobody but the players can be in the locker room, so there ain't no supervision. So, you know, you grown men. So if you got a problem on the field, take the locker room. You just got to handle that. You know, music blasting, you know, and it was like clicked up, you know, like the running backs, hands the running backs, you know, if you're from a certain part of geographic, you know, if you're from like Florida, dude's going to hang with dudes from Florida, you know, like the D-line, hang the D-lines. It's the same way how it was in college, man, you know, like it's just lit, you know, it's like a little mini party in there every day.
There's more money. It's more money.
That's all it is, bro. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's same. Nothing changed. Nothing changed really. You know, just more money. You know, more responsibility. But when you inside with your brothers, man, it's still brothers. You know.
Yeah. But you went from 1.26 GPA, Juco down. That wasn't really a good fit for you. Then you went to another Juco. Then you went to you're thinking about going to Liberty. Then you canceled that just because they didn't want your hair. Went to Hawaii, but Hawaii was a pass-driven offense. You know what I mean? Then they switched it up when you got there. So not really knowing what you're going to do after that until after you actual coach. And that was senior year, right?
Yep.
That was senior year, right? Do you think I got what it takes to go to the league? He said, yeah. Then you turned it up a notch, but you didn't even turn it up a notch. It was just you just playing and really getting that acknowledgement. Now, I mean, and then you put it in your brain a little more. I really belong here. And then you actually get promoted to not promoted, but you getting projected to get a free agent. You know what I mean? But then you get drafted third round. You know what I mean? Like all that is big accomplishments, man. And we are our biggest critics. And I think in our thoughts and in our actions. You know what I mean? Because you have value, people see it in you. You know what I mean? But we thinking like, man, we're not supposed to be here. I don't know if that's from where we're from or just our upbringing or what, man. But I think we got to start having better words of affirmation for ourselves. You know, actually meditating and speaking it to existence. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's gonna happen regardless, even if we downplay it or if we, you know, say that we're not supposed to be here. But if we, you know, anticipate it, you know what I mean? I feel like we embrace it a lot faster, or may come faster, or it won't be as a shock to us. You feel me? But yeah, man. There's so much more that we can actually talk about, man. But I do want to pretty much say, what would you actually? Can we talk about a few plays that you like? Tell us like the best game that you had with one of the teams that you played with.
In the league?
Yeah.
Yep. first, let me say this too. With all those things that I went through and that, whoever watching this go through, and I know you went through your struggles, you fought some uphill battles. Like, it don't really stop because you make it to that level you wanted to get to. Because when I got there, I was projected to have my breakout game. I had plays tagged with my number on it. And I tore my ACL on kick return rookie year. So I was done rookie year, and it set me back. So I was still fighting adversities and still fighting setbacks. I came back the next year. I ended up starting, and I led the team in rushing. That was all good, and then I still had setbacks. Still had knee injuries and whatnot. And I still really couldn't find my niche, and they sent me to New York Jets. So I was still fighting a lot of things, even though I had reached a level of success that I wanted to reach. That don't mean that like your problems stop. So to understand, like you got to find out whatever that thing is inside you that's gonna keep you going. Because if you want to have like a lot of money, like you'll get it. You want to have a nice house, you'll get it. You have a nice car, you'll get it. But like if you don't got yourself right inside, bro, like you won't be able to overcome those problems, and you'll lose it all. So understand that one. Going back to the question, my best game, man, I had was when Seb Benson, rest in peace, when he got hurt. One of my best games when he got hurt. You know what? I had a few good games, man. I scored against Arizona Cardinals off a screen. It was my first. So I had missed the first game because I had a thigh injury, and I came in the second game against Arizona Cardinals. It was at home in Green Bay. And it was my first time touching the ball that whole season in the game, And my first touch, they called a screenplay. The first play me get in, they called a screen, And I get in, I catch the screen, I break like 3 tackles to the spin move, gone, break down the sideline, I get tackled on the 1 yard line. The next 2 plays, punching in the end zone for a touchdown, Lambeau leap. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like a big moment, bro. Yeah. Yeah. That was like a like I still know how I felt in that moment. You know what I'm saying? That whole play, I still remember what that felt like. You know what I'm saying? Like getting up, you know what I'm saying? My offensive lineman telling me, man, go leap, go Lambeau leap. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. You feel me? Let me go leap, hop in the stands, and I still remember that feeling. So that was a big one. That's my rookie year. My sophomore year when Seb Benson went down, I got in. I butt against the Colts, who was down by like I think 6 at that time, like 4 minutes left, and they gave the ball to me. And put it on my shoulders. Why? I don't know. It was like a second and long, and they ran the ball to me, and I broke a 47-yard run. And that was like okay, I mean, take the air out the crowd. We talk about being a big moment with crowd cheering for you. When you're in a big stadium, in a dome stadium, and you take the air out the crowd, bro, that's a whole different feeling too. You know what I'm saying? Like when the crowd is silent because you just popped on them. You know what I'm saying? So that was dope too. And then I had one where my first start. My first start was that next week against the Texans. Texans at that time where it was 5-0. It was hot. J.J. Watt was going crazy. Arian Foster was going crazy. It was hot, and we came in and beat them. And I had a big part of that game. I got a little under 100 yards that game, but that was my first time starting. It was Sunday Night Football out here in Houston. Big stadium. It was lit. Like that was my first time really like experiencing like, okay, I'm really out here for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on Sunday Night Football. You know what I'm saying? The week before, I got to say my name in the green room and Alex Green, Hawaii.
What you say? You say some random shit, or you
Nah, they had me say my name. They had to say our name in our school. They brought all the starters in and say our name in our school.
Some people.
Yeah. Cartwheel you, something crazy. Nah, I just hit him with the Alex Green Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, but that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember watching on TV. Like damn, like. But I'll be watching it on TV, and I'm really on there saying that now, like, and then obviously getting the dub. And what was dope about it, bro, was hearing, how it is when you balling and you feel the vibe on the sideline where they fooling with you, and the coaches is fooling with you, and you go to the next week in practice, everybody fooling with you.
Now
you know what I'm saying?
You ain't
Yeah,
Green right there.
yeah, you feel me? All of a sudden, I remember getting on the bus. Man. One of these coaches who didn't like me, I didn't like him. I remember him saying, "Hey, you running that ball, Green?" You know, like, bro, you don't even talk to me. You don't like me. You know what I'm saying? I remember, and then that next day, we had Victory Monday. I came in to get treatment, and then I remember I was getting treatment, and the coach came down. Coach McCarthy came down, like, "Oh, go upstairs when you're done." I said, "Okay." Like, you know, I go upstairs and all the coaches. I went into every coach's office because I'm walking past. Hey, G, come here. Hey, man, you had a good game yesterday, man. Keep it up. You know, every single coach, offense, defense, and team. That feeling was like, you know what I'm saying? You know how it go when they all fooling with you. Like, it feel good. That's when you feel like, okay, like we in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was dope, but I also had the other feeling too, so it comes to territory. When you walk by and don't nobody talk to you, and they ain't messing with you, you know what I'm saying? I had that feeling too. So, but it come with it, the wins come with the losses. And, that's why I kind of go back to, as long as you digging deep inside yourself and know who you is and you stand on that, any situation you go through, you're going to be cool to get up out of it.
No matter if as long as they talking to you, no matter if it's good, bad, yelling at you, cursing you out, whatever it is, they talking to you. Once they start getting quiet,
yeah,
you need to be worried.
Exactly.
I don't care if you mess up on that last play and they chewing you out. They talking to you.
At least they talking to you.
Talking to you? Oh yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap, G. Why coach always talking to me like that? You better be embracing that.
Yeah, because he sees something special in you. Sure. Yeah, man.
Nah, man, I think you touched base on a lot of stuff, man. And, I definitely want to see if we can bring you back again, man. But what would you want to leave on a message for today? If they take anything, what would you say that they should take from this? Your message.
Yeah, the final message would be, man, to really believe in those dreams you got. I know it's like cliche. I said a lot. That's really what I stand on. But like adversity gonna hit, adversity gonna strike. And so expect it, embrace it though, because in those trying times, in those trying moments, that's when you find the success. There's success at the end of that pain you're gonna go through.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be afraid to go through it. Don't quit when it get hard. But go through it, and once you get through on the other side, man, you're gonna have a successful experience. And even just going through that at all is a success in itself. So I'll say, man, if you're going through it, man, keep going through it. The light at the end of that tunnel.
Right at the end of that tunnel, man. And it's not a one-sided situation, so I appreciate you stepping on the show. But also tag yourself in your merch, if you got merch, your Instagram, TikTok, whatever you got going on. Let them know so they can follow you, keep in touch with you. You know what I'm saying? If you want that.
Yeah, for sure. So follow me on Twitter. I'm at @agreen_20. Follow me on Instagram. I'm at @A_green15_. My merch, you can go to, I got children's books out right now. You go to dreamandbelievebooks.com. There's books on there for the babies. We also got merch on dreamandbelievemerch.com. And then I got a foundation. Anybody want to work with a foundation, nonprofit, anybody need, goods, services, community work. We got turkey, we got Thanksgiving coming up, so turkey drives. We got toy drives in December. So that's dreamandbelievefoundation.com. So, yeah, man, we taking care of the babies, man, and stepping into the community and putting the work back in that somebody gave us.
Hey, that's really big. One, you're a black man promoting giving back. You know what I mean? You out of the league now. You don't have to do it no more for publicity, but you actually still doing it behind closed doors. The fact that you promoted that's great. That's big. One is letting people know that you're still active in the community. Two, you know what I'm saying? You're making an honest living outside of yourself, outside of football. You made a way for yourself outside of football. You use that as a platform, but you're still excelling outside of football, man. And a lot of people kind of, they still crazy because they don't have football no more. But you seem like you saying skin looking good, man. And giving back, bro. That's very big, man. I appreciate that, man. It's flowers that you need to be having and be told to you. I appreciate it, man, and just keep going, man. Just keep going. You're doing big things. Like I said, you gave a lot of gems out. If anything I can do to help as far as promote whatever you got going on, let me know. There's no question about it. I'm definitely going to do it, promote it, whatever it is, shout it out, whatever it is, man. But appreciate the time. And we out, man. We out.
Yeah, turn the bitch on for the win.
Tap in. Yeah, you gotta tap in. Yeah, you gotta tap in.